Hey guys, what's Gump here? It's been a while since I've made another video. For today, I wanted to do something a little fun, a little something personal. And these are my top 35 games in alphabetical order, which I personally enjoy or resonate with me throughout my entire life as a human being and as a gamer. As you can see, I did 35 because, it's impossible to stretch a video from like 5 minutes to like 40 when you do a top 10. So I was just like, why not do that like times seven, it's just something nobody's ever done. But anyway, the criteria for these games, as I say, the games must resonate with me, they must be special. It's whether if I had fun or not. It's nothing like objectively bias where it's like the game is really like a 10 out of 10, because that would really destroy the purpose of a personal top 35. But anyway, some of the games you'll see here are unexpected. Some of them I thought about for a while, and I was just like, yeah, I agree. This game was really fun. I really should put this on my list. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into the first one. That is Animal Crossing for the GameCube. The thing is, with Animal Crossing, it's just one of those comfort games. It's just a second life almost. And I remember playing it on the GameCube as a young kid. And even like a few years ago when I emulated it, I forgot like how long this game can be, how much of a time sinker it can be into your life. Because it's really, as I said, it's a second life. You're doing these things. You're building your house. You gotta pay rent. That Tom Nook just keeps putting you into a never-ending house debt. It's really just all about the adventure, the experience, the social making aspects, making friends. And honestly, it's just a really nostalgic and familiar game with me. I've even played Animal Crossing. What was the Wii version? I basically played that one, and I played the mobile games, but I don't think nothing will ever top the first one, which came out in like 2002. So yeah, that's definitely one of the first games I remember being resonated with. The second game is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. The thing with this game is, I got it with my first Xbox One, released in November 2013. This is the first like eighth generation game I've played on that console, and ever since then, it's just been like, man, what a good Assassin's Creed game! Like they somehow like infused being a pirate and being an assassin into like one like epic fantasy glory. And I know Ubisoft is trying to recreate that lightning in the bottle with skull bones, being like the first quadruple A gaming. I honestly think that's really stupid. But overall, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, definitely a classic. It's really good. I think pretty much after this game, the Assassin's Creed formula just started to break. Like, as much as I liked Odyssey because of its Greek setting, I don't think any other Assassin's Creed game will capture that joyous feeling of how captivating 4 was. So the next game is ATV Off Road Fury 2. This is a PlayStation 2 exclusive. I remember playing this on my PlayStation 2 a lot. I don't normally pick racing games or favor them, but this one really caught my eye just playing a lot because the, it's the soundtrack. The game picked like amazing and classic songs around that time. So you got like System of a Down, Funkadelic, you got like Korn, you got just like these bands that like really resonate that early 2000s like culture. You got like what's that band called? I'm trying to remember. It's the band the guy made after joining Nine Inch Nails. I'm gonna have to look it up later, but yeah, it's definitely a really cool racing game. You can like do tricks, you can do sick moves on it. I think ATVs are pretty cool as well in real life. I mean, they're pretty fun. Overall, this game was just a good PlayStation 2 game, especially for a like that sort of era of like racing games, when they were like all very hardcore, when they were like edgy, when they were just all about like the feel and the speed. So the fourth personal game I liked was Dead or Alive 4, and this is probably because my brother and I played this game on the 360, and it's just one of those fighting games that really has a it has a attracting presentation, both like intro wise and outro for each of the characters. Like Tecmo Team Ninja games are just like filled to the brim with like Western anime hyperculture, and they're somehow obsessed with like Aerosmith because they play a lot of Aerosmith in their games, which is like a weird thing for an Easter company to do. And one of the cool things about Dead or Alive 4 is it had a Halo crossover. It's Nicole 458. So they had a contract between Microsoft and Team Ninja or Tecmo, yeah, Tecmo back then, where both franchises would like promote like each of their IPs. So for Dead or Alive 4, they got Nicole 548, who's a non-canon character, and then for Halo 3, we got the Hayabusa armor for because of Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. I think that was like the coolest thing ever. And also because I know it's just one of those like classic 360 games you played. And the next spot is Dead Space Remake. I could have put Dead Space 2, but I liked the remake more because the remake was just a really refined, retuned, much better improvisation of the first one. Like the first one is really scary back then for its time in 2008, but the remake really solved all of those problems that the first one had. Like you couldn't backtrack, you couldn't get it more ammo easily. Like the difficulty was like a spike. It's just one of those remakes that I think EA took for granted, and because of that, like because of the sales numbers, we can't get a Dead Space 2 remake. That's unfortunate. I wish we had a Dead Space 2 remake. It's honestly just one of those games that we ought to live with, because they brought back the main cast. They brought back Isaac's actor. They brought back Nicole's voice actress, and it was just like a reunion to see those two. Speaking of horror games set in science fiction, the next one is Doom 3. The reason why I put Doom 3 on here is because I remember when I was little, I watched my brother play it. He got into the hell level where you jump in the portal, you lose all your weapons, and that scared the crap out of me. I think Doom 3 is really one of those like games with like its software where they were like experimenting, they were changing up the pacing, the atmosphere. I don't know, there's people out there that don't like through Doom 3. I don't know why. It's honestly a classic. It's just really good. Up next is Dragon Age Origins. I got into the series around fall of 2022 because I was really interested in BioWare games because at the time I completed the first Mass Effect, so I was like, I want to get into Dragon Age, it's just one of those RPGs. I think I tried it like a little back then, but I couldn't get into it after pushing myself. I mean, it's just one of those like really bloody dark fantasy RPGs that BioWare like captured lighting in a bottle, and it's really good. Like the characters are thoroughly intrinsic, your actions have consequences. It's up to you to like create the world, that you made in or you live in, kind of like Fable, with like your consequences. It's really epic, to be honest. And speaking of epic, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and that's another of my favorite RPGs. This game I first played in 2012. It really resonates with me. The soundtrack, it makes me fall nostalgic for it, even though I haven't even played it before, and it somehow makes it more nostalgic. the Oblivion remaster recently came out, and I was like immediately in love again because that game just really sticks with me. It's really a classic from the 360 era. It's really good. It's really fun. I don't think there's another RPG out there that can live up to what Oblivion was in terms of hype. Next, we have Fallout New Vegas, as everyone calls it, the better Fallout 3D game. And yeah, I really like it. I mean, again, it's just another timeless RPG classic that you just play for like hundreds of hours. It's really fun. There's like a lot of intrinsic characters in it. You can like shape the world you want to live in, whether if you're like NCR or Legion or House or Yes Man. It's just one of those timeless classic gems that was crunched in like 18 months and somehow becomes a cultural phenomenon within gamers everywhere. Gears of War is the next game, the first one, because my brother and I grew up in the 360 era. Like, he showed me this game, and oh my god, it's just one of those like epic titles that I don't think you'll ever see again in today's modern age. Well, there's going to be Gears Reloaded, which is a port of Ultimate Collection. Then there's Gears E Day, which will soon be releasing. I think Gears of War, the first one, is really good. It's really grime. It's really interesting. It's really melodramatic, like cover to cover. It's just, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's like a Brotherhood of Arms. That's all I could put it. Like macho guys just killing locust infection with like swearing and cussing every 5 seconds. It's just, yeah, it's just really good. The next game is Half Life 2. This is honestly the first Valve game I'm going to put on here because after 100%ing Half Life 2, it honestly is really good. I like the Source engine. The Source engine just really brings out like that unique ambient and immersive feeling that you don't get to see in a lot of other games. I think Valve are really ahead of the curve with the physics engine. But I'm not like too much of a Valve fanboy. I just like the game. I like the story. I like exploring the world with City 17 and what happened after the events of Half Life 1. Episodes 1 or 2, they were okay. I mean, they were like the best. Like, each of them have their own faults. And yeah, I mean, I made a modded series just based on that. The next three games are Halo, and they are Halo 2, Halo Infinite, and Halo MCC. Halo 2, pinnacle of 2004 gaming. There's not going to be another game like that ever again, but it's really cool to see how a 2004 game was like that at the time. Halo Infinite. I've made videos covering about like defending it, just absolutely loving it. I mean, like it's not like as hype or peak as like Halo 2 and 3, but it's still really good in like terms of gameplay and social aspects. I think a lot of people are just stuck in that 2022 mentality, which really sucks because they're not they're not seeing the picture of how much this game has evolved and changed, which leads to like a loss of like potential, to rekindle with the group and the franchise. And Halo MCC, I bought it on launch, been stuck around with it. It's just a game that I've spent a lot of hours into it. Probably like the most out of any other game I've played with like 1,800 hours, which is pretty crazy. Left 4 Dead 2. I was going to put Left 4 Dead 1, but I like 2 more because it adds a lot of unique, ambiguous features, and plus it has like all of Left 4 Dead 1 like rekindled into it, so you don't really need to play Left 4 Dead 1 unless you really want to play it. So it pretty much has the full package. I mean, it's just a really fun 4-player co-op game, like it's just really timeless and classic. I think Valve really kills it with the multiplayer like co-op department. It's really fun. It's really addicting. You just try your best over and over, and yeah, it's a hell of a fun. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker for the GameCube. I recently beat this, and wow, finally, this is the first Zelda game I've ever beaten in my entire lifetime. I have not played any other Zelda game besides this one, and I really like this one. Like, despite the faults and flaws it has, like, like how much time it takes to explore, like in the ocean, or like the graphics, fidelity. It's just a really good Zelda game, like that somehow turned from like being hated like 2003 when it came out to like being loved because it's just that iconic. Mass Effect 2, another BioWare game on here. I liked Mass Effect 1, but I think 2 really amped up the stakes against the player and like Shepard and his crew. And honestly, this is just like one of the most compelling like sci-fi RPGs I've ever played in a long time. I like the setting, I like the tension, the urgencies, and just like everything about it. I mean, if you haven't played it, like just go out and play it yourself. Metro 2033. This was one of those games that I first played and I was just like, I've heard the title, but I wasn't sure what it's about. And after playing the Redux version, it really is just one of my favorites. Like I really love the story narrative of Metro 2033, the themes it comes with, like of apocalypse, nuclear warfare, man versus nature, and man versus man. It's honestly a really good Eastern game that has a lot of value and introspective into it. The next three games are going to be Metroid because I'm a Metroid fan. They are Fusion, Prime 2 Echoes, and Zero Mission. Fusion, I really liked on the Game Boy, along with Zero Mission. They both tie for my personal preference, but they're really good games. I like Fusion because of its atmosphere, because of its horror tensions. It really does something unique and innovative. It's not trying to be like another Super or Samus Returns type. It's very linear. It's really escalating the tensions of what's going on at the station. Prime 2 Echoes, I being Prime 2 and Prime 1 a few years ago while I was emulating it, and even though I like Prime 1 more, there's something about Prime 2 Echoes that just really catches my attention. I think it's the soundtrack or the visuals, the fidelity, like how it was trying to be something else from Prime 1. Even though I have a grudge with like the whole going back and forth between the light and the dark world, and honestly, it's just one of those really fun games I remember most fondly of, along with the soundtrack. I mean, I really there's a Prime 2 Echoes remastered like the first one. And as for Zero Mission, it honestly is a good way to get into the series because it's basically a reimagining of Metroid from 1986. It's really good. It has like captivating energy. It's just really epic. It's really fun, memorable. I think people should really play this more than Fusion, but at the same time, both of them are equally good. The next game to be on this list is Minecraft. I know Minecraft, right? Who could have saw that coming? I think Minecraft is just one of those games that we didn't realize growing up as kids into teens and adults that it now has like define the culture or like our tastes in video games with the whole sandbox. Again, it's a comfort game just like Animal Crossing. Like it's just a go-to game if you like want to really like just take your mind off of things, like reconnect with friends, do something that you haven't done before. As much as the community can be a mixed bag with like what's going on, I think the mods are okay. I tried modding Minecraft once and it was weird. But vanilla Minecraft is just like from the start, it's just been like a whole journey. Like it's been like what, like 13 years since it released? Like that's crazy. The next game is a fighting game similar to Dead or Alive 4, and that is Mortal Kombat 2009, or yeah, it's just Mortal Kombat. I first played this on the 360 back in the early 2010s. It's just one of those games I like really liked because of the presentation, the fighting, the fatalities, and honestly was just like Mortal Kombat at the time. Like that was the Mortal Kombat that we played, before anything else, and it was just I mean, yeah, it's just a bloody fatality moment. The next two games are a cheat because I recently got into them a few years ago, and that is Psychonauts 1 and Psychonauts 2. Tim Schafer is honestly a really fun and creative man. I mean, anything he makes is just really funny. It's really intriguing. It's really just innovating in like terms of platforming games or whatever. I liked the humor and the mood of Psychonauts 1 and 2. They were really just fun games and full of like meme potential. I mean, from Psycho 1, you got like the Milkman, which I'm sure anyone that's been on the internet since the mid 2000s knows what the Milkman is with that meme. And Psychonauts 2, it really was an emotional like attachment, you know, with the themes of like family and like overcoming personal trauma, and it's just really like a it's a fun ride, you know. The next game after this is Quake 4, another id software game. And the reason why I put Quake 4 is because it's another one of those games my brother and I saw on like the 360 era. It was honestly scary, it was intriguing. It was just like a niche title that I've come yet to learn. I really think Quake 4 is just really Quake 4, you know. It wasn't trying to be Doom. It wasn't trying to be like a first person shooter. It's just, you know, like Quake has just been one of those like series that like not a lot of people talk about anymore, but back in its heyday, it was the arena shooter, you know. It was what you would play besides Unreal Tournament. But 4 has like a lot of horror aspects into it, which I really appreciate and like. And there's like that whole the Strog transformation scene that you see before your eyes, which is really disgusting. Another horror game on this list is Resident Evil 4. Like, this is just, I mean, what haven't I said about Resident Evil 4? It's really defining, it's really engaging, it's really just a cultural phenomenon, like top 10 best video games of all time. I mean, who hasn't played Resident Evil 4 or its ports like in the last like I don't know, 20 or so years? I mean, it's basically everywhere. Like the remake was good. I like the Wii version better because of the motion capture or the motion like gameplay, and it's just honestly like a good time to get it back into it. Like I can pretty much like quote the entire game as I can with Halo 2, and that just really says something. The Simpsons Hit and Run. This is just one of those like fun games, movie license games, but this time it's more like on less on like terms of GTA for like teens and kids, because we weren't allowed to play GTA growing up. So this game was as close as you can get with that feeling and immersion, and it honestly is just a tons of fun. I mean, The Simpsons, like anything up to season 8 is really good, but afterwards it's just kind of stale, you know. Like I don't think people love The Simpsons as much as they do anymore. StarCraft, the first RTS game on this list, and I honestly like to thank my brother for getting me into it, because it honestly is just wow. I love StarCraft as an RTS, but also as a video game with its music. The music is like something I come back to along like many times, especially the Terran themes, like the Protoss, the Zerg. It's just like a PC game that I think a lot of people like can really get into it without needing to be really good at first, because you know it's just StarCraft. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be phenomenal for a Blizzard game, along with Warcraft and Diablo. And yeah, I think it's just one of those games that still resonates with me today. I still listen to the soundtrack and all, and I quote it a lot. But yeah, the next game is Star Fox Adventures. You may be questioning, why is this on the list? Like, why not Star Fox 64 or Star Fox Assault? I honestly think it's because it's made by Rare, and Rare was just in the final years of their career before being bought by Microsoft. They were really weird and experimental with this game. Like, Shigeru Miyamoto saw Dinosaur Planet, and he was like, hey, that kind of looks like Fox, so let's turn it into a Star Fox game. As cheesy as the dialogue is, as bad as the writing or whatever, I still love it. It's just one of those, like, it's so bad, it's so good video games, especially for the series. And I honestly think that without Rare and Nintendo making one last collaboration, we wouldn't have seen the last of Star Fox before it gets put into a dormant state, with Zero in 2016, and since then we haven't had any. The next game is Star Wars Battlefront 2 Classic from 2005. This is the pinnacle Star Wars game that everybody who's played in the 2000s growing up has fondly remember of, and it's honestly just a banger. Like being able to play like the campaign with the 501st series and be able to create your like best Star Wars fantasies with like scenarios in instant action and galaxy conquests. Like there's so much to get into the game itself in details, but I honestly think it's just one of the best Star Wars games I played growing up. And speaking of Jedi Survivor, I played this a few years back when it came out, and I honestly love it. It's just one of those single player games that Respawn Entertainment, God bless their soul, because they recently got laid off with 100 people, and their handling by like EA is just tragic. It's like the fall of the Grand Republic. But to be on a more positive aspect note, I really love Jedi Survivor because it honestly is like better than Jedi Fallen Order. There's a lot to do. There's a lot more combat styles in terms of the lightsaber. It's really engaging for me to learn more about Cal Kestis and his adventures along around that era with the galaxy, like in the galactic empire years. I honestly think it's just one of the best single player games I've played. The next game on here is Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube. This honestly is like one of the best Mario 3D games I've ever played. Like in terms of the GameCube and its lifespan, this game was like is what really people were really looking about, because they like usually with every Nintendo console launch, there's always going to be a Mario platformer 3D. For like the first game, you got like Super Mario Brothers for, and then Super Mario Brothers 3 for the for the SNES. You got Super Mario Brothers World, which is like a, or Super Mario World. Yeah, you got like that whole defining genre of like the early 90s, and then the N64 Super Mario 64, which leaped from 2D into 3D. It's amazing, but I honestly like Sunshine more than the other games. I think Sunshine has like that really cool summer vibes that it just really is made there on a purpose, because it really is. That's what it is. It's a summer game. It's a game you spend like throughout all summer to 100%, and it honestly is just like really good. Speaking of Mario, Super Smash Bros. Melee, which came out in 2001. Again, this is just one of those Nintendo games that really has defined a whole generation and the next generation after that, with like in terms of social aspects and like tournaments and all that. I don't think there's going to be another game like this in Nintendo's line. Like as much as the last Smash Brothers game released like 8 years ago or something, I honestly like Melee more because it's really simplistic, it's really down to earth, it's really casual, noob friendly. Like there isn't a whole lot to sink in without being overwhelmed, and honestly is a really good time, to get into. And finally, the last game on this list is, I just threw in a freebie because I really enjoyed this. That is Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. To describe this game, I would say it is a 360 game. And by 360 game, I mean it's a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun. I think my friend getting me into Warhammer is like really cool because it honestly isn't a franchise I would take lightly. It's a lot to take in, it's a lot to study, it's a lot to get into it. But this being like my second Warhammer game after Dark Tide is honestly a good approach to the series. Like you get to play as like a space marine, like an over glorified, saturated, imperial, like themed sci-fi fantasy. Just killing bugs, killing orcs, just like it honestly is a good time. That's all I can say. It's really satirical and like exaggerated, which is the purpose of these games. It's meant to be sort of like that fun like niche game you get into with your friends. And honestly, yeah, I thank him for getting me into that. And props to Saber Interactive. I mean, after like getting Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary in their belt, I mean, years later, like 10 years later now, they're like working on like one of the most funnest games for the Warhammer franchise. And so yeah, that's really cool. That's all I can say about it. Excuse me. So yeah, overall that's my top 35 games list. Let me know what you think down below in the comments below. Do you have a top 35 games list? What games resonate or did you like growing up playing in your life? Are there any games that you rather share with or like disagree on? I mean, I don't know. It's up to you, really. I mean, I think I just wanted to share this because I was thinking about video ideas on what to do, on what to make. It's been a while. I mean, I've been taking care of myself. But anyway, guys, yep, I think that's about it. Make sure to give the video a like, comment, subscribe to it, share it with your friends, and let me know what you think about this video below. Until then, I'll see you guys later and with more future videos ideas and hopefully Halo ones. This has been What's Gump, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.